Good evening. In this session, we are going to discuss regarding the constitutional cases. What exactly are these? Let's try to understand. Whenever I say any constitutional case, that has to be decided by the highest judiciary. If you look at India, the topmost judiciary, apex court in India is the Honorable Supreme Court. And below that, you have various high courts at the state level. High courts and the Supreme Court, these are the courts that will be deciding on the constitutional issues. But what exactly these issues? What exactly are these cases? For example, during the discussion of Indian polity, when we were learning about the constitution, we have come across with various case laws. But if you look at those case laws, at the time of framing the Constitution of India, during the discussion, many members have agreed that any issue that is related to the constitutional case, that must be addressed within a period of 1 month. That must be addressed within a period of 1 month by the honorable judiciary. But what happened when the constitution came into force? This particular clause was not added for multiple reasons. But even then, today, what is happening? Whenever I say constitutional case, it is the power of the state that is coming into picture. Whether the state has the accountability or not, whether that accountability is being turned into impunity. Impunity means no punishment, free from punishment. But what is happening when I say any constitutional case, that is between an individual or individuals and the power of the state? So what is happening here? There is no loss to the state at all. But here the individual or individuals are running from pillar to the post, and whatever the expenditure is being done, that expenditure is a burden on the individuals. Nothing is happening to the state. So what is the point here? Whether the state should be punished or not, whether the state should be accountable or not, or should we treat that there is an impunity over the state? So these are all the points that we are going to discuss now. Basically, what happens whenever I say any constitutional case, we all expect that should be addressed and resolved at the earliest. But unfortunately, some of the cases which are related to the constitutional cases, they are still pending. They are still pending in the Honorable Supreme Court and also in some of the high courts. Now let's try to understand what exactly are these. For example, in the year 2019, the status of Jammu and Kashmir has been reduced from the state to union territories, meaning that the state was bifurcated and two union territories were created. It never happened before. There were incidents where a union territory has been elevated to the status of a state, but never before a state was bifurcated into this union territories. And whenever we say union territories, it is the domination of the central government over those territories. So these all we have discussed during our Indian polity classes. Now the point is that in future, if the government that is there in the power at the central level will keep on reducing the states to the levels of the union territories, India, instead of being a union of states, it may become union of territories. so which is considered to be a serious violation of the principle of federation. Whenever I say federation, there is a division of powers between central government and state governments. Now, please tell me, so what are the powers that are rest with the Jammu and Kashmir now? So these are not the powers. So the state is no more existing, and the state has been divided into two union territories. So obviously, whatever is required, whatever is required for Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, that will be decided by the central government. So there is a talk that in Jammu and Kashmir, a legislature is going to be established. But how long you are going to take? How much time you are going to take for this? All these must be answered. And when the Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated and reduced to the level of the union territories, a case was filed. And even today also, that case is very much pending with the so-called Honorable Supreme Court. What the common people in India want is that the resolution for these type of cases, the intention of central government may be good according to its own versions, or whatever the opposition parties are claiming, that may be right for them. But for a common man, it should be very clear, and a common man will get the clarity only after a judgment is delivered by the Honorable Apex Court. That is the reason why we expect the constitutional cases must be resolved and the judgments must be delivered as early as possible. And this is the time that we need to recollect what has been discussed in the Constituent Assembly. Such type of cases must be resolved within a period of 1 month. But unfortunately, certain cases are being taken, this long time. So 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And the more you keep these cases pending in the court, the more people will be losing the faith. And now I will be opening the document. Apart from what we have discussed, I would like to show you some more points and will continue our discussion. Kindly stay tuned. I am opening the document now. Look at this. So when you say constitutional cases, what are they? These involve crucial questions about the state power, accountability, and impunity, and cannot be left hanging by the courts. Meaning, these type of cases should not be left hanging by the courts. Courts are expected to decide on these cases as soon as possible. Look at this. During the framing of the Indian Constitution, it was proposed that any petition alleging a breach of fundamental rights by the state ought to be judicially decided within 1 month. Kindly make a note, my dear friends, all of you who are preparing for the civil services examination, all of you who are preparing for the Group 1 examination at any state level, you must be very careful with these points. We are neither criticizing or commenting on judiciary or legislature or executive, but we are trying to highlight certain points. Clear? Very, very important. These points you can straight away write in the examination, in the mains. Alright? Look at this. So it was decided that it should be finished within 1 month. But what happened? This proposal did not, and it ultimately did not find its way into the text of the constitution, meaning it was not added to the constitution. Clear? It nonetheless articulated something of great importance between the individual and the state. There exists a substantial asymmetry of power. Very, very, very important topic that we are discussing. Please follow very, very, very carefully. Look at this. While the violation of the rights, and who is violating these rights? It may be through executive or legislative action. I need not get back to the fundamentals because you are very clear. You all followed my Indian polity classes. You know what is the meaning of executive, you know what is the meaning of legislative, and you know what is the meaning of the action. Clear? I repeat this particular point now. While the violation of the rights, whether through executive or legislative action, is relatively costless for the state, meaning executive action is violating certain rights. Legislative action is also violating certain rights. But what is it costing the state? Nothing. But who is affected by this? It is the individual or individuals who pay the price. And these individuals are running from pillar to post to vindicate their constitutionally guaranteed rights. These rights are given in the constitution. It is a responsibility of the state to uphold and protect our fundamental rights. But certain legislative, certain executive actions are violating our fundamental rights. Then where do we go? We knock the doors of the judiciary. The people knock the doors of the judiciary, and for whatever may be the cost, that cost is borne by these individuals, and it is not affecting the state in any way. Right? So now what should be done? It is a responsibility of the judiciary to clear it as early as possible, to protect, to guard the fundamental rights that are guaranteed by the constitution. Right? That is the reason why we say judiciary, the Supreme Court, is the protector of fundamental rights of the citizens. Clear? So consequently, a constitution is entirely ineffective if a rights violating status quo is allowed to exist and perpetuate for months or even years before it is finally resolved. Very, 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 very important one. If the court permits for the status quo, right, then you are allowing it to exist and perpetuate for months. This is considered to be a blow to the accountability. Whenever I say accountability, the government is accountable for its actions. But on the name of the delay, on the name of the pulling of these cases for long period in the courts, this is considered to be a blow to the accountability, meaning government is accountable to the people, and those people have challenged the action of the government in the court of law. If there is a delay in the court of law, who is going to be affected here? It is the individual that is going to be affected here. Then where is the concept of accountability? That is the reason why if there is a delay in judiciary, that is considered to be a blow to accountability. very important one. This point, of course, is not just limited to the violation of the rights, but extends to all significant constitutional questions that arise in the course of controversial state action, meaning it should not be seen only with respect to the violation of the fundamental rights, but that should be seen in any controversial action by the state. Very important one. And we still have more to discuss. We are going ahead. Look at this. For example, if you look at this one, issues around the federal structure, elections, and many others all involve the questions of power and accountability, and the longer that courts take to resolve such issues, the more we move from a realm of accountability to a realm of impunity. Very important one. And especially for the students who are preparing for the civil service examination in the mains, this will be a part of your the paper number 2. Very important. General studies paper number 2. This is very important. There we have discussed regarding the power, regarding responsibility, regarding accountability, regarding the answerability, right? Even with respect to impunity also we have discussed, right? And these are the very serious and very sensitive issues that are going on, right? Federal structure is one, elections is one, apart from this many others are there, and all these involves the questions of power and accountability. But if you keep on pending in the court, this is nothing but from accountability will be moving to impunity, right? Impunity means there is no punishment with respect to the violation of certain things in the constitution, meaning the state is being protected. There is impunity rather than the accountability. Clear? Right? Now look at this. So we'll be going ahead and discuss more points here. Look at this. In this context, a look at the Supreme Court of India's docket means documents, reveals a host of highly significant constitutional cases that were long pending when the year began. Kindly see here, we are in the year 2022, and I am talking something about the beginning of the year 2021. At the beginning of the year 2021, there were long pending constitutional cases in the Supreme Court. Clear? And now it's more than 1 year without any sign of resolution around the corner. And all these cases involve crucial questions about the state power, accountability, and impunity. That is the reason why this topic is really important. What are those cases? We'll be understanding now. Look at this. Consequently, the longer they are left hanging without a decision, the greater the damage that is inflicted upon our constitutional democracy's commitment to the rule of law. Meaning, if it is kept pending for a longer period of time. When I say that is pending, meaning decision is not yet taken. If you are not taking a decision, if you are keeping a constitutional case pending in the court for a longer period of time, that is a damage. that is a damage to the constitutional democracies which has the commitment to the rule of law. And you know very clearly what is the meaning of rule of law. That itself is getting violated. Clear? Next, we'll be going further. Look at this. If you look at some of the cases, these are the cases that are related to the presidential order of August 5th, 2019. This one we have discussed. Through this particular order, the power, the Article 370 has been diluted and it bifurcated the state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, right? So that is even that particular case is pending in the Supreme Court even today. Even today, lots of things are happening in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and currently that is under the complete control of the central government. Is that clear? Now, if we go further, I'll be showing you some more points here. Another long pending case is the constitutional challenge to the electoral bond scheme that is now crossed 4 years. Even with respect to electoral bond scheme, we have discussed earlier, right? And all the students who are following our current affairs regularly, you are very much aware of this. What is the scheme? It authorizes limitless, anonymous, corporate donations to the political parties. They are permitted to donate to the political parties without being identified who is the donor. That is called anonymous. How much you can donate? There is no limit. Who is donating? The identity is not revealed. Meaning, this is making election funding both entirely opaque to the people. People in a democracy want to know. They have the right to know everything, but everything is made opaque. There is nothing transparent. Right? That is the reason why, if you look at the political parties, they are receiving the huge amounts and huge donations. But who is donating? How much is being donated? Nothing is being known to the people. Clear? And this is also structurally biased towards the party which is there in the power at the central level. Meaning, whatever may be the party that is present at the central level, if it keeps on taking such type of decisions, obviously that is considered to be biased. Clear? So like this, you will have various cases, and whenever you come across with any such type of cases, please follow this very, very clearly and carefully. Another important point I would like to tell you here, it happened in the year 2013 but still pending. This is related to Central Bureau of Investigation, which is always there in the news. Alright, look at this. In the year 2013, Guwahati High Court held that CBI was not established under any statutory authority. Who said this? Guwahati High Court. So high courts are also permitted to look into the constitutional cases. Then what happened? The verdict that was given by High Court, Guwahati High Court, has been stayed by the Supreme Court. Clear? And later it has never been heard. That is the reason why CBI today continues to function, often controversially, despite a judgment by Constitutional Court, meaning the High Court of Guwahati has found its very existence to be illegal. Meaning, even after Guwahati High Court said that it is illegal, it is still existing, it is still functioning, and all this is because of the stay that has been granted by the Honorable Supreme Court. Clear? And these are all considered to be the cases that are related to the constitution or constitutional cases, right? And these type of points are very important for the examination. And when you are writing the answer along with the latest examples, if you write the answer, you will have a better chance to score better marks. Fine. And I'll stop here, and I'll see you in the next session with other topics. Take very good care.